Hello everyone, how you doing today? I want to share with you some money principles, right? On this channel, we like to talk all about your personal finances, how to get out of debt, increase cash flow, lower expenses, and raise your credit score, all using your own income. All of that is fine and dandy, right? But when we start talking about the next phase in life, once we're debt free, right? We got our finances in order. We've mastered our personal money. Now we have to adopt and develop some kingdom principles, kingdom authority, and leadership so that you can influence your household, so that you can impact lives, and ultimately leave a legacy behind for your name's sake, for His name's sake. Got it? So I want to share with you some money principles that I've discussed, but I want to add something to it that I think would be really unique, just totally different, right? It's unheard of. No one talks about it. And I just find it fascinating to me. I think this is something that any household can adopt at any level. So, you know how I'm big on the three main financial concepts that have never failed, right? And that's insurance, banking, and real estate. But let's break it down, right? So insurance, the purpose of it really is it protects money. That's it. Insurance is protection, right? Which leads to either a life insurance policy as an asset, estate planning, right? Which leads to tax-free transfer of wealth, right? Life insurance as an asset can develop more sustainable assets, right? Having a trust, having a will, avoiding probate, right? Things like a sustainable business, sustainable products, sustainable service, right? Environmental. All of that is insurance on the principles of money and your morals, right? It keeps you sane, keeps you in line with who you are, purpose in life, where you're going, where you're headed, where you want to be. Okay? Banking, as you know, velocity banking. It's the system, it's the tool that we use to grow the insurance, to grow the real estate, to grow the banking, right? So banking simply builds money. That's what velocity banking is trying to do with your personal finances. It's trying to build your money up, right? By eliminating those bad debts, acquiring leverage, capital, good debt, acquiring extra cash flow, right? Increasing cash flow, right? All those things, right? So building money, right, leads to the credit, the capital, right? Velocity banking, okay? Which allows you to then purchase insurance, to then purchase real estate. So as we go into real estate, for me, real estate is just multiplies money. That's all it does. You acquire land, you sit on it, or you develop a property, or you develop a shopping center, you whatever you want to grow, a farm, right? Whatever that land does, it's going to multiply, no matter what. As long as you got your what? Principles in line. You've got your authority, right? You have your domain, your territory, your impact on anything you touch, okay? So yes, real estate multiplies money, which then leads to multiplication of investments, right? Which allows us to continue to do more velocity banking, continue to acquire more insurance, a larger estate, allows you to invest in things like, I don't know, crypto and some stocks and a business and a product, a service, people, right? The environment, the planet, many different things that you and I can engage in together, right? When we've got our what? Our money principles in line. So I'd like to share with you a principle, right, that I believe should be really unique and add some, really shift your mind and really start thinking generations. That's what I want you to start thinking, right? So we all know what gold is, okay? Gold is gold. You can melt it, you can, change it, you can make it into a product, into, a ring, jewelry, accessories. What I love about gold is it maintains its value. It increases in value, right? Never loses value. And it's just this beautiful, this thing. It's just gold, right? It's kind of like, a relationship that will never die, right? You can mess it up, you can change it, you can fix it, you can put it into something, but a relationship is a relationship, and once it's forged, it cannot be destroyed, right? So that's how I view gold in that sense, and I view it as a principle. It's a money principle. So to me, I came across something not too long ago. I think when I first started, going into sales and speaking and going to networking events, came across a group of people that were just selling gold. I'm like, what? And then they talk about this, it's like a type of currency, right? Gold is a currency, right? Can be used to exchange funds. It's not as common, really. We use fiat currencies, right? We use dollars, pounds, euro, yen, such on, and even digital currency. Well, gold is what backs up all that stuff, right? Or what used to back up all that stuff, and no longer does. But in the event something were to happen, you can always go back to gold, right? It's a standard, right? So I have an idea. I was thinking, okay, to myself, if I have a line of credit or a HELOC or a policy, right? My debt weapons, okay, anywhere from 20 to 25,000 of availability, liquid cash. And I said, I was looking up. I was like, what is a pound of gold like worth right now? How much would that cost me? And it's somewhere around like 15,000 for like a pound of gold, right? So I was like, okay. Let's say you and I have an average cash flow anywhere from like in 1,000 to 1,600. So I went right in the middle. I was like, all right, 1,300 cash flow, right? So technically, you and I, we could make a $15,000 chunk to acquire a pound of gold every year, then do velocity banking using our cash flow to what? Zero out the line of credit, right? So I use the bank's money to acquire a principal, gold, right? Another money principle in the whole system here. Right? It's a little piece, just a little piece, right? Take the bank's money, 15K, dump it, purchase gold, sit on it, do whatever you want with it. But let's just say you did nothing, you just acquired it, okay? For 100 years. Whoa, Denzel, 100 years. I don't even know if I'll live to be 100. Hear me out. It's a principle. I want you to start thinking. Remember, generations. If you were to adopt this principle of acquiring a pound of gold every year for 100 years, and let's just say you just kept putting in 15,000, right? You just kept using the bank's, your debt weapon, whether it's the HELOC, a line of credit, credit card, or policy, right? And every year you just 15 grand, and let's just say that got you a pound. Right now, obviously the price of gold will go up year after year after year, right? But you could say you get right around about a pound every single year. You adopt this principle into your kingdom, to your household, right? Which you then pass to the children, okay, generations, right? And you figure if you and your kingdom, the citizens inside of it, your household, your kids, wife, husband, daughter, son, right? For 100 years, that'd be $1.5 million that you would have put into gold. And over the course of those 100 years, I'm sure, I'm positive that the money would at least double. At least. Now, you and I both know that that'll probably triple, right? But if all it did was double over the course of 100 years, well, your kingdom has $3 million worth of gold. And if your kingdom continued to do that over and over and over again, and this is conservative, right? What if you did 2 pounds, right? What if you started off with a couple grams a year, right? Maybe an ounce per year, right? Which is like 31 grams or so, right? So divide that by 12, right? What's that, like 3 grams a month, 2 grams a month? You can start small and work your way up, right? But it's a principle. Just acquire the gold, right? Let it build. And who knows, maybe one day your name would represent a country, a nation. Just like scripture says, nations will borrow from you. This is interesting. If a nation's to borrow from you, you've got to have assets, right? Now, gold is an interesting way of leveraging money. Very interesting. So what the banks do, they keep the gold, they trick you to get loans, to go into massive debt, you pay them interest, the gold continues to retain its value, which allows the banks to continue to print more and more money out of thin air, to then give it to consumers, to then pay them back amortized interest, meaning 2.5 times what they gave you. And then what do? They take that money and they put it into 3 things that have never failed, which then it transfers into sustainable assets, sustainable businesses, right? Which then allows them to acquire gold, okay? And they just store it. And they just store it, right? And then you get a kingdom like the United States, or Britain, and all these different countries that are doing these things. Why can't you do it? Just on a smaller scale. And secure your wealth, your legacy, your name for his name's sake. Am I speaking to someone? I don't know. I feel like I am. So there's a company that I have grown to like over the last year or so, and I've just kept it to myself. And it's just, I just buy gold every now and then. I buy like a gram or 2 every couple months, and I've acquired almost an ounce of gold so far. 22 years old, right? If I started out with an ounce per year for a couple years, and then maybe I up it to 2 ounces, 3 ounces, before you know it, I'll be at a pound, right? And before you know it, I'd be at a couple kilos, okay? A couple kilos gonna lead to a ton. A ton of gold is about $35 million. Whoa. I could leverage that and triple it in fiat currency in the form of what? Loans, leverage, debt to business owners, other people, and then they what? Pay me back and do the same thing that the banks do. Okay? Pretty interesting. Very interesting concept. So, name of the company is Carrot Bars. I like them. I'll have a link in the description below. You can check it out, get some information. And it's interesting, you can just set up like an auto pay on a monthly basis. You can set it up where it's like, all right, I want to put in like $50 or $100 a month or $200 a month, 1,000 a month, whatever your level is, you can do. And check out the link, right? They've got these real cool cards, and I think their ultimate mission is to have gold as a currency, as like normal, like people just walking around here passing out gold, right? Exchanging gold for services. And I'd like to challenge someone and say this: if you buy gold using the link below, okay, you check out the site, if you buy 5 grams of gold and you give it to this channel, right? You give it to this channel, this community, I'll serve you. I'll put your numbers on the board, right? I'll serve you for a month, right? It's the same thing I do with people that give at the tier 3 level on Patreon. Okay, you buy 5 grams through this company, right? You give it to my kingdom, right? That's your offering, and I'll serve you. I'll show you how to pay off debt. I'll show you how to increase your cash flow, build your credit score, lower expenses, all using your own income. And I'll give you a precise timeline as to when you'll pay off all your debts. My name is Denzel. Hope you enjoyed this video on money principles. If you got any questions, comment below. If you like this video, leave a like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, become a part of this family, and enjoy the content that I continue to produce on a daily basis. Thank you so much. Have a great day. God bless.